What if I told you that the future of Black storytelling is already here? Hey, what up, y'all? My name is Reagan, and welcome to the show. Today, we're talking Afrofuturism and intergenerational healing through immersive world building. How can we use storytelling, culture, and creative and immersive technologies to bridge generations and imagine expansive Black futures? In this episode, we're breaking down what Afrofuturism really is and how immersive world building can be a tool for healing, and why at this moment, right now, is the perfect time to reclaim our narratives through innovation. Afrofuturism is a movement that's been woven into the Black experience for generations. And even before we had a name for it, it's at its core about reshaping Black futures and focusing on our narratives that are not solely about just our survival, but about the celebration of our alchemy and the ability to thrive. And in doing so, through the lens of technology and culture and spirituality and ancestral wisdom, it's a bridge between our past, our present, and our futures, where we use the knowledge of where we've been to inform where we're going. The concept is deeply rooted in Sankofa, a principle from the Akan people of Ghana, which teaches us that we must look back in order to move forward. A reminder that our past is not something to be forgotten, but a foundation to build upon. When we talk about Afrofuturism, it's not just about sci fi and space and Wakanda, even though those are dope too. It's about how we learn from the land and our ancestors and how we leverage the resources of the present, how we can use our imagination and innovation to build futures that reflect our highest possibilities. Now, think about it. Black people have always been futurists. We've always been world builders. And from the Underground Railroad to Black Wall Street, our ancestors have always envisioned freedom long before it became a reality. We've always crafted new possibilities beyond the limitations placed upon us. Now, Afrofuturism also is not new, right? Across history, countless Black visionaries have embodied Afrofuturist principles, pushing boundaries, blending past wisdom with future possibilities. Let's talk Octavia Butler, right? A masterful sci fi writer who envisioned futures where Black people navigated dystopian worlds, time traveled, alternate realities. Her books, like Parable of the Sower, were not just stories, they were blueprints for survival. Sun Ra, a jazz musician who didn't just make music, he built a whole philosophy around Black liberation and cosmic consciousness, claiming that he came from Saturn and that music was a vehicle for transcendence. Take George Washington Carver. People think of him as just the peanut guy, but he was a true Afrofuturist. He saw the land as not just soil, but as an ecosystem of endless possibilities, teaching sustainable agriculture and developing over 300 products from peanuts, sweet potatoes, and other crops to empower Black farmers. And lastly, John Jennings, a contemporary visual artist who fused graphic novels, horror, and speculative fiction to tell stories of Black resistance and liberation of alternate realities. Afrofuturism isn't just about imagining better futures. It's about ensuring that we heal the wounds of the past so those futures can actually manifest. And I think that's why intergenerational healing is at the center of this conversation. Too often, knowledge gets lost between generations, and that's by design. Whether it's through forced assimilation, systematic oppression, or digital erasure, our histories have been stolen, rewritten, and diluted. And in that loss, we've been disconnected from the wisdom that should be guiding us forward. But healing happens when we bridge those gaps, when elders share their stories, when the youth bring fresh new perspectives, when we merge ancestral wisdom with emerging technologies, we create something that speaks to the past and also builds the future. Take land stewardship, for example. Our ancestors knew how to work the land, grow their own food, and sustain themselves without reliance on broken systems. Today, we have technology that can track soil health, optimize water usage, and use AI to map out sustainable farming solutions. The key is not choosing between ancient wisdom and new innovation, it's about combining them. Or let's talk about music. Our elders sang spirituals that carried hidden messages for liberation. And today, artists are using augmented reality, VR, and AI generated music and experiences to tell new stories, but themes of survival, love, and resistance all remain the same. The technology has changed, but the essence of the storytelling remains the same. And if we want to reclaim our narratives, we cannot afford to move forward without bringing our past with us. And that is why Sankofa, world building, and intergenerational knowledge exchange is so critical. So, as we think about Afrofuturism, I want y'all to ask yourselves, what futures are we building right now? And how are we using what we've learned from the past to shape it? And that's why we see all of these other Afrofuturist or futurist movements like Indigenous futurism, Latinx futurism, queer futurism, because across history, marginalized people have had to fight for the right to imagine themselves in a future at all. Colonization, forced displacement, and systematic erasure have tried to write us out of history, but these movements remind us that we have always innovated, adapted, and built our worlds for our own, by our own selves. What are some futurisms that you've come across? Make sure you drop those in the comments. And if you're into these conversations, tap in. Follow the She.L. on TikTok, on YouTube, on the gram, and let's keep this dialogue going. Tech talk to you later.